Yeah. So I think it's a great one, right? When I give the answer, I'm going to take the lens of a product executive, but it applies to any executive. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, the way I see it, and I use this common frameworks to help people remember, like three C's here. So great executive follows the three C's. The first is clarity, second is collaboration, third is culture. And let me tell you what I mean by this. Um, for a team to succeed, they need to know what they want to achieve. More often than not, they are doing too many things and not clear what to do first, what not to do. So great executive wins clarity. We are doing this because we want to grow. We are doing this because we want to retain. We will stop doing this because our focus is on cost and not in growth this year. So bringing clarity to the organization as a whole and to their team, respective teams, is a very critical part of a successful leader. That clarity then translates down onto focus, what are we focusing on? And more importantly, what we are not focusing on, right? Um, and then that clarity also translates to what metrics to measure the outcome. Because a lot of time people think, hey, we are releasing this thing in quarter three. Well, that's not clarity. The clarity is we have a problem addressing our customers in region A because they use software B. And so we are integrating with this suite of products in that region so that we can grow. That's clarity, right? And so releasing is not the option, is integrating, and our metric is to see more successful integrations and growth there. And that's clarity. A lot of people say, hey, roadmap, vision, all of that is part of that clarity. So that's the first C. The second C is collaboration. I think people use that word sometimes loosely, sometimes just because it is word used. But what I have learned over the past is even if you have great clarity in your own organization, let's say you're a great CFO or CPO or a CTO, the ability to translate that to your peers, to your peer groups, right? And make that collaboration connective through a storytelling is a critical part of success. So a company may have a lot of A players at the C level or the middle level, but if they're not collaborating, it's not an A team. So A team does not mean A players. A team means some A players, some B players, some C players, but high level of collaboration and connectivity. And that comes from the leadership themselves. That comes from the CEO, from the next level, TPO, CTO, CMO, CFO, is that collaboration comes from there. And I think the way to address that practically, like this is now, when I use the word, people say, yeah, we collaborate. I said, give me an example. How did you build your budget for next year? Oh, we were given a number. Like that's not collaboration. Collaboration is we want to achieve this growth or this number. How can we achieve that? Right? Do we have the right pipeline from the sales side? Do we have, if are we focusing the right ICP when we are selling from a product perspective? Do we have the right platform from a technology perspective? So when you collaborate across all three or all four domains, then you build up your budget and your roadmap and your plan for next year. That's collaboration, right? Common example I ask companies when I'm interviewing, when I'm doing diligence is, so show me your last launch plan, like when you launch your last product. And more often than not, they'll show me a marketing plan. I said, that's just a marketing plan. What's a launch plan? They said, what do you mean? Well, launch plan means we will launch this product. Subsequent to 30 days, we'll monitor it. We monitor it for usage, we'll monitor it for feedback, we'll monitor it for customer complaints, we'll monitor it for competitive responses across product, technology, sales, marketing, and then do a postmortem and say success, not success, what's the next thing to do? That's collaboration. So that is the third of collaboration. That's the second C, right? The third C is culture. Now, this is even less less known or lot misunderstood. Culture does not mean having a game room or work from home. Culture means to me something drastically different. Culture is the ethos, the way of working. For example, a great leader says our culture is speed and quality, not speed or quality, right? And I will achieve speed in my team by making them focus on fewer things. So this first C is critical. Making them collaborate with the respective. So my product needs to be high quality, high speed. I will make sure we collaborate with the CTO, the customer success team, so we are able to respond to customers and we are able to make sure we have the right tech debt. So my culture is about the customer outcome, not that's first. When you have a great customer outcome, a culture of speed and quality, then you take one step inside. What is the company's culture? I was listening to a podcast by HubSpot CEO, and I think he said something really well, which I've tried to imbibe is, if you think of culture as a product that you are building for your own employees, then you'll start to think differently about it. So you build something else for your external customers who pay, but culture is a product you build for your internal consumers who are building it. And what does that mean for your team? So if you build a culture that is high speed, high quality, high ownership, high empathy with customers, then you're building a culture of risk taking. Like, hey, someone says, stop, our clients are angry. We're not going to launch the next version. Let's fix the previous version. That's culture. That comes from a culture of empathy and customer focus. That comes a culture of quality. Stop. We're not releasing this product just because we promised the CEO. We have too many bugs in beta. Our launch will be not successful. That's culture. So that's the last C. That is the hardest for companies to build because that requires a very top-down push, and that's where the leadership comes in. Right? That's the value of a leadership, building that right culture. And culture this can't be done in a short term or a very quick. There's no such thing as building a culture in 6 months or a year. It is a continuous process. It is a circular process, right? So that's what I think of a great leader. I said I put the product lens first because I'm a CPO, former CPO, but it applies across to any domain, applies to a CEO as well. So in short, that's my view of how I think of a great 3 things for a great executive in a PE portfolio, a startup, or a public company.